Short video is concerned with the late Lee Edward Bowers Jr. and a description of what he witnessed that day in Dealey Plaza in 1963. Lee Bowers Jr. was operating the Union Terminal Company Tower west of the Texas School Book Depository and directly north of the grassy knoll. He was an eyewitness to events that occurred behind the picket fence.
Of the hundreds of witnesses around Dealey Plaza that day, one was in a unique position to see what was going on behind the wooden fence atop the grassy knoll. When questioned, Railroad Supervisor Lee Bowers gave the Warren Commission intriguing testimony. But did Lee Bowers die before he told the complete story of what he saw?
He was in the tower behind the wooden fence, the only person back there who had the right to be there, who wasn't planning to kill the president, so far as we know.
This is an aerial view of Dealey Plaza. The president's limousine was here when the fatal shot was fired. This is the Texas School Book Depository, where Lee Oswald worked. And this is the stockade fence and the grassy knoll. It is here that assassination witnesses and researchers have long believed at least one gunman was hidden. The gunman who fired the shot that killed the president.
Where were you employed on November 22nd, 1963?
At that time, I was employed as a tower operator for the Union Terminal Company.
At 12:30 p.m. on November 22nd, Lee Bowers was here in this railroad tower. From this window, he could see the motorcade's progress on Elm Street, and he had an unobstructed view of the wooden fence atop the grassy knoll. After the assassination, Bowers tried to tell the Warren Commission what he saw that day, but like many other witnesses, he was cut off. However, in this 1966 interview with Mark Lane, he was able to finish part of what he had begun to say years earlier.
There was some unusual occurrence, a flash of light or smoke or something, which caused me to feel like something out of the ordinary had occurred there.
On a railroad overpass adjacent to the grassy knoll stood a number of train workers whose testimony confirmed Bowers' observations.
Well, we all four seen about the same thing. At the time, I didn't know what it was, but it sounded like a loud firecracker or a gunshot. And it sounded like it came from the left and in front of them, towards the wooden fence. And there was a puff of smoke that came underneath the trees.
Is there any doubt in your mind that that shot came from behind? There's no doubt in my mind.
The Warren Commission concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald fired 3 shots at the president, all originating from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. But Robert Broden, co-author of the bestseller High Treason and photographic consultant to the House Assassinations Committee, is one of many who disagree.
We have the ear witnesses. We have the medical evidence. It's all consistent. Every bit of evidence in every field shows that at least 2 shots came from the right front, from the area of the stockade fence.
4 months after this interview was filmed, Lee Bowers died or was killed in broad daylight on this remote Texas highway.
Lee Bowers was heading west here on to Cleburne, and according to an eyewitness, he was driven off the road by a black car, drove him into this bridge abutment. He didn't die immediately. He held on for 4 hours, and during that time, he was talking to the ambulance people and told them that he felt he had been drugged when he stopped for coffee back there a few miles in Midlothian.
But why would Lee Bowers have been killed when it seemed that he had already told all he knew? Walter Rochelle was a friend of Lee and of his late brother Monty. Rochelle says Lee Bowers was afraid to tell all he witnessed during the assassination. Rochelle told the explosive story to now investigative reporter Maury Terry in an exclusive interview in Dealey Plaza.
He said he saw a car pull up. 2 men get out of the car, but they were carrying what appeared to be rifles. He said that one gunman apparently positioned himself either on their car or on a car. The other one, I don't recall where he said he was. He said he saw both men fire shots. You could tell by the smoke, the puffs of smoke that came from the rifles. You're saying that Lee Bowers told you that he saw both men fire? Yes, he did.
Bowers also told his minister that he had seen more than he told publicly. In addition, legendary Texas journalist Ken Jones Jr., one of the first to challenge the official version of the assassination, says he also heard the complete Bowers story.
He is the man who said he saw gunmen firing at the president from their hidden position. He didn't see all of them, but he saw two of them that were firing at the president.
Later, another witness who wasn't questioned by the Warren Commission, a deaf mute named Ed Hoffman, said he too observed two men behind the fence and saw at least one shot fired. Further, acoustics tests conducted by the House Assassinations Committee determined that at least one shot was almost certainly fired from the knoll. So why was Bowers so afraid to tell the full story? Walter Rochelle provides a possible answer.
He had disappeared for about 2 days. One night, I know for sure. It was very uncharacteristic of him. And when he came back, his fingers was missing on one of his hands. So Lee gave Monty some excuse for what had happened, which Monty didn't accept. So he called the local hospitals, the clinics, and some doctor's offices, and there was no record of anyone, and certainly not Lee, going in and having that taken care of.
Shortly after this alleged disappearance and mysterious maiming, Lee Bowers died in that suspicious automobile wreck.
At the time I was in Monty's office, he was quite upset because the insurance company had refused to pay the claim. I can't recall too vividly, but I believe that Monty felt that the insurance company did not believe that his death was accidental.
If Lee Bowers' death was not accidental, what was it? Joining me now is Fred Rivera. What was it? We don't really know because the death certificate is missing. What about...
As the movie revealed, Lee Bowers later told his minister all that he saw that day. In 1966, Mr. Bowers was absent for a period of 48 hours, and no one knows where he was and what he was doing for that time. His friend Walter Rochelle noticed that Lee had a finger missing on one hand. Lee died while traveling on Route 67 later that year. No autopsy was conducted.